All right, back at it. Chuck Dizzle, live and direct, man. This is a pleasure. Got one of my homegirls in here, man. She's running stuff here in L.A. 7th Annual Music and Media.
7th Annual.
Can you believe it, man? Khrissy B is here with me, man. It's a
What's
pleasure
up?
to bring you
First
here.
of all, thank you for having me.
Yo,
I'm finally up at the station.
It's time, man. You've been
coming.
showing consistency. You've been doing your thing.
Thank you.
For the people that don't know who Khrissy B is, I know production coordinator is one of the titles you hold. Host, mother. I mean, what if people ask, what does Khrissy B do? How do you describe that to people?
I don't have a title. I do so much. I wear so many hats, but my niche is content production.
Okay.
Event production. Event coordinator. That's my niche, but I don't have a title yet.
When did you get to that point, or are you at that point where you're like, I'm titleless, I'm okay with that?
I'm there.
Really?
I'm there. I don't have a title.
Is that out of just sheer like, yo, I'm at a point where I don't need one, or is it like, yo, I'm looking for something right now, but I'm just kind of like, just kind of hopped into the space of just doing so many things?
Yeah. It's both.
Okay.
It's not that I'm trying to identify myself, because I feel like in the industry that we are in, I do need to be identifiable. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I feel like everything that I've been thrown into, I have been able to execute.
Flawlessly.
Like I've done PR, I've done marketing. I do so much back end work for artists. Mm-hmm. Event production, content production, styling, modeling, brand ambassador. Now collaborating with Shockaware as their come on now collaborating with Shockaware to basically launch their women's line.
And
so I don't really know how you title that or put that in the hub.
What I do want to kind of identify, we'll talk about the music and media for sure. We'll talk about that. That's an amazing event that you've put on, and you've been really putting on for the city. And like,
well, look, you kicked it off with me. I don't know if you remember, but it started in 2017, and you were, remember, it was Women in Music and Men in Music, and you were one of the first panelists to be a part of Men in Music in 2017.
That's crazy to think about that. Like,
it is
the full circle moment, man. And we'll get into the elephant in the room.
Yes,
of you, because we gotta address this. Okay, you sending this email to Homegrown years back. Okay, and what were you doing then?
Nothing.
No, you were doing something.
I wasn't. I was working.
What were you attempting to do?
I was working.
What was the email about? And what were you trying to do?
I just wanted to be down. I don't care. Honestly, it didn't even matter what position y'all had available. Mm-hmm. I just felt like I can identify with you and Head. Mm-hmm. You guys were black men in radio.
Got you.
In music. And you guys were, I was like, okay, I don't know who else feels tangible. Like you guys felt like in reach.
For sure.
You guys felt like you were in reach. Mm-hmm. And so I was just kind of I moved back home from Seattle. And I was kind of fresh back out here. I was gone for 7 years. Mm-hmm. And so I had to get tapped back in. I didn't really know what was going on in radio anymore, or just period. But I knew this was the industry I wanted to be in. And here's Homegrown Radio. Where was y'all at? In Inglewood? What was the street? Market Street. Yeah. I mean, and I literally DM'd you guys. I sent an email. I didn't hear nothing back. You know what I'm saying? It's probably just still sitting there lingering if you scroll all the way back.
For the record, like when I heard about that, I felt terrible.
You know what? And it's okay. I did
go back and I found the email. Mm-hmm. I did find the email. And I can see how it got overlooked or whatever the case may be. But I'm just like,
I would have interned because I was working a 9 to 5. I would have interned whatever you guys kind of needed, because that's me. Mm-hmm. Like, I can play the front, I can play the back.
Yeah.
Whatever position you guys needed at the time, I would have been down for it, because I just wanted to kind of get some exposure and get in there and just figure things out. That's what I do. I'm going to get in, I'm going to work the room.
But I feel like it's allowed you to do that and then some on your own. And
absolutely.
I feel like it's an even better story for you to kind of get it out the mud, do it yourself, figure it out, you know what I'm saying? And, again, have that full circle moment where we're peers. We're homies.
We're
you know
homies. You guys are like family.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
It's like, to me, when I hear that story, I laugh all the time.
I know.
But I love how, A, you didn't let that stop you. Mm-hmm. All right. And B, you didn't use that to hold a grudge and be like, well, I ain't fucking with these. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? And that's an overall message for anybody that's out there. You don't know what people are going through. You don't, it literally, and it wasn't I ain't fucking with this. It was literally just an oversight. And you're not the first person to tell me that. I've had people that said, y'all sent music before. Y'all overlooked it. It
happened.
It happened.
And I know you guys were kind of a small team too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys were, I mean, not that you were, you still are, but, you know, Homegrown was booming.
Yeah.
You know, so the DMs, the emails, I mean, you guys had a lot of traction. So I didn't take it personal, and here we are. You wind up joining, you know, music and media.
Exactly.
So, Men in Music at the time. But
so talk about the decision to kind of, because you had Men in Music and then Women in Music, and now it's Music and Media.
Right.
All right. 7th annual. Talk about the decision to actually combine both events. And what's the whole objective of it? And for somebody that's listening right now, how do they know, oh, I need to be here? What's the objective of the event?
Well, you know, I merged them because I did not have an event during the pandemic. So in 2020, I had to make the decision literally. Women in Music used to be in March. Men in Music was in July. If you guys recall, the pandemic hit, I want to say, around March.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so
right.
it literally was like a week and a half or 2 weeks right before the event where I had to pull the plug and not, because they were shutting everything down.
Yeah.
And I was literally in the process of talking to everybody that was involved, like, how do you guys feel? Can we mask up? But it just started getting really bad. Like, the news was like, no, we shutting the world down. So I had to pull the plug on it. I didn't have an event. So once we kind of got, I guess, settled into this whole pandemic thing and realizing that we're not coming outside, then I did like one of the panels virtual. That's when we were all on Zoom.
Damn, that's right. Okay.
I did a panel on Zoom, and that was cool. And that was that. And then I didn't do anything, of course, for Men in Music, because that would have been in July. I didn't even, because usually when I roll off of Women in Music, I'm playing Men in Music. So that shut us down. And then I put a vote out on social media. I was like, so in 21, I actually had an event. And I put a vote out. I was like, should we do Men in Music and Women in Music, or should we just make one big event? Because I didn't do anything the prior. They was like, make that shit one big.
We miss you.
Yeah,
like,
run that shit up. Bring everybody together for one big.
Music and whatever. We just need you back.
Run it up. So I did. I did a vote, and they were like, just combine them. And I really just did it based off people.
And the response.
And the response from the people that said, you know, merge them. And I did. I did it at the Regency. That was the 5th annual Music and Media. Did it at the Regency, and it worked. And it's less stress for me. I don't know how the hell I was doing 2 events a year. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
You figured it out.
I figured it out, and it worked well.
So what was the reason behind wanting to start something like this? Even start with Men in Music, and then Women in Music, and now, you know, Music and Media. What's the reason behind it?
The reason is because I felt like when I was coming up, I've always known since my daughter's age that I wanted to be in music. Of course, I always tell this story. I grew up watching Sway. I grew up watching Ananda Lewis. I grew up watching, 106 in Park. And I was like, damn, I thought it was always dope to just interview artists or be in the mix. You know, you're looking at the VJs, you listening to the radio. I just knew I wanted to play a part in that. I didn't know how and what way, but I knew I wanted to be involved. I'm a music head. I'm a hip hop head. Right. I just know I loved music, and I know I wanted to work in music. Coming up for me, we didn't have outlets. I don't come from social media era. You know what I'm saying? Like, MySpace came later, but as my daughter's age, as someone that has a dream at 11 or 12 or 13 years old, there were no outlets. Yeah. You know, we were just watching it on TV like, damn, I want to do that. So the whole objective was to give people the opportunity and create a platform where they could come and learn from industry professionals, because I feel like I didn't have that. That was literally just it. Creating something, so people can come and learn. And music and media, and now Music and Media, it's not necessarily for me. I'm doing it for others, and I'm always telling people, like, I'm creating this platform for y'all, for anybody that's now wanting to be in the industry. You guys have somewhere to come to learn from real people that are in it.
So let me just kind of bring this full circle, right? And I'm gonna just go off the ledge. Had we answered the email, you probably wouldn't have started this. Because you would have felt like, okay, I got my tribe, I got my team. I'm just speculating because, like, I think about how Homegrown started, right? It was we were filling the void, because even me being a radio personality, when I was the few stations that I did work for in the beginning, I remember the feeling that I had of, like, wanting to play certain music and being on the street team, getting artists' music, taking it to the radio DJs, and them not being able to play it because I didn't know how the politics of radio went, right into the business of radio. And I'm like, oh, no. When I get my platform, I'm going to do it this way.
Exactly.
So it's like, when I hear you tell this story now, hearing it like in that way, it's like, oh, you're doing what the 2015 version of Khrissy B wanted and needed. So it's like you said, you're not doing it for you anymore.
I didn't know where to go.
Wow. So now
I didn't have
this
I
is
feel like
that.
I didn't have any resources.
Wow.
I feel like I didn't have any resources. I didn't know where to go. And that's exactly what this is. It's providing a platform for those, because there's so many up and coming, inspiring managers, producers, music execs. You have some that are starting their own labels. You have artists. You have so many people that want to do it. And now we're oversaturated.
Yeah,
You know what industry we're in now. It's oversaturated with it. And they need to really learn.
Yeah.
Like I'm a student of the game first. And I'm going to provide that. You know what I mean? I feel like if you really want to do this, you're going to invest in it and you're going to learn from the right people. And I feel like I wish I had that, and I didn't.
And what I love about this too is that you bring people, you know, not only on the panels that you get the knowledge from, right? It's performances, all of these things that kind of like showcase the things that I mean, it's an LA thing for sure.
It is.
But I do love how you branch out and reach out to different people as well, just to get that knowledge. How important is that as far as the educational piece? Because it's cool to have motherfuckers get on stage and perform and all that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Showcase that.
It's about the education first for me.
Education.
It's about that first. If I can't do any other segments and provide anything else, I'm going to always provide those panels. We ain't got to have no performances. We ain't got to have Battle Cat. We're going to have those panels. The educational part to me is first. Yeah. And that's where I'm kind of leading more to, is kind of and everybody loves the entertainment components of music and media.
It's a place for it too. And
it's a place for it for sure. But I want the education part of it to be priority. You know, so, and I tell people all the time, like, it takes a lot. Like, I'm doing all of this by myself. I have a very, very small team. And shout out to my team. I have Sarah, I have Nay. Like, I have a very, very small team of people that are working for me and doing stuff for me. But I'm sending out the emails. I'm calling these people. I'm reaching these people. I'm directly, reaching out to these people and asking them to be a part of it. So it's a lot of work involved when it comes to like having to talk to these managers or talk to them and working out the budgets and all of that. But I'm going to go balls to the wall with it, because that's what's important for me, is getting them involved. Like, I need them to come and talk about their back end stories, up and coming stories, how you broke into it, the do's and the don'ts. Like, give us the real gems on what it takes to how to survive in this industry.
So this is going down February 2nd. Give the location and the time frame, how people can get tickets.
Yes.
Most importantly, and who we can expect to see at Music Media. So
I'm collaborating with Soul Folks in Lamar Park. Shout out to Akil for opening up his space for me. He was like, "Yeah, I don't care if the shit is trash. Like, you're having it here." Nice. He's like, "I don't believe that it's going to be trash," but he was like, "I want to work with you on this." So he did open up Soul Folks. We're gonna open that whole. It's a store. It's a clothing store. If anybody doesn't know. In Lamar Park on Degnan, right in the Village, we're going to open up that whole space, and we're going to create a whole, floor plan for music and media. It's kicking off Grammy weekend. So it's on Friday, February 2nd from 3 to 8 p.m. I know all the festivities for the Grammys usually start on Wednesday, so it's right in the thick of it all. Again, 3 to 8 p.m. And then you can buy tickets on Eventbrite. Just support. Don't ask me for no free ticket.
Please don't.
Y'all be buying everything else.
Yeah, I saw you tweet the other day. Said you was like, "Look, y'all want to spend a bag on this, but don't want to support your folks, man."
Yeah, like, y'all spend money. Y'all will go buy some kicks. Y'all will spend it on weed. You spend money what you want to spend the money on. But how are you an artist asking me for a free ticket?
Yeah.
How are you a producer asking me for a free ticket? I don't have no list. Nope. ain't no list. I ain't got it. Ain't no list.
Hey, I
buy
love
a ticket.
I love the setup before. It's not even about asking for it. It's the setup. Say, "Hey, Khrissy, hey man, how you been? What's been? All right, so music and media.
Keep him in the list.
Hey man, I know there's a list, right? Like,
there ain't no list.
Ain't no list.
Ain't no list, bruh. I can't get you in.
First to tell you.
7mnm.eventbrite.com. So 7musicandmedia.eventbrite.com. Or you follow me on social media. It's in my bio. We going hard with the marketing and the promo for the next 2 weeks. This week and the week leading up to the event. We're on super, super hard. I'm working with The Wave, with The Sin. I'm working with all the black local, local magazines, subscriptions, whatever, radio stations, whatever. We gonna run.
Down for it all.
I'm down for it all. Whatever. I'll pull up wherever you want me to pull up. I gotta have my sign. Whatever you need.
Do a freestyle if you need.
Listen. You want it? I got
Corner
it.
Store LA, what's up? We need Khrissy B on the freestyle.
Yeah, we need all of that shit. Whatever y'all want from me, I got it this year. I promise.
Who are some of the people that are going to be there? I know the Battle Cat, right? You know
Battle Cat has been running with me since 2019.
Love that.
just thank you to Battle Cat. To have somebody like that, a part of, you know, ongoing, like, he's a legend. So he loves being up there with the producers. He's like, this keeps me fresh, this keeps me new, this keeps me young. Up and coming producers, do-betters, Loda Great, Don Will on it. You know, they're up there. They're going to press play on Battle Cat. He's going to critique the beats.
Love that.
On the panel side, Kenny Hamilton, a music exec, Lauren LaRosa, formerly from TMZ. I feel like she about to be maybe the new host on the Breakfast Club. I don't know, but she in New York right now. So Lauren, if you about to be running up with
drop that at music
and
media, man. Drop the news.
But she's been up there with Charlamagne and Envy, you know, co-hosting. So shout out to Lauren LaRosa. I'm drawing a blank. Who else on our panel side? Oh, Buzzy Baker, journalist with Ebony Magazine. Courtney B. She is Abby De La Rosa and Nick Cannon's co-host on the Daily Cannon Show. Yeah, we gon' shout out to my boy Lefty, A&R Rock Nation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We got Lefty in the building. So it's gonna be a good time. I'm doing R&B Lounge this year, switching up every year.
That's something different that I've noticed this go round. I'm like, I don't remember the R&B Lounge.
I've never done an R&B Lounge.
What was the decision to kind of go that route?
Well, it's an evening event, and I just kind of wanted to set the tone a little different. I just kind of wanted to see how it feels. You know, Davion Ferris will be considered our headliner.
Salute,
so shout out to Davion. I'm glad that he was, you know, he was like, yeah, I'll do it. Easy. Yeah. You know, reach out to his team. It was an easy yes. You know, got some up and coming talent. Zeke, my girl Leah Wrights.
Oh man, shout out to Leah Wrights.
Yeah, Shalia Nicole, Isaiah J. So I'm really excited about it. You know, I had to kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but I kind of cut back a little bit because I have all these ideas in my head. I'm like, you know what? Let's just
simplify it.
I
mean, because
and that's okay.
The impact is still going to be there.
Absolutely.
And I think that for me, I always get something when I pull up, whether it's networking with different people, reconnecting with different people, seeing the who's who, seeing, you know, getting the education side, whether I'm on a panel or just kicking back. I like to just be an observer and just kind of see what's going on while I'm in the crowd at Music and Media. I
always say this. I mean, you had me in full blown tears.
Oh my God. No, see,
because it was. I mean, I don't take none of that in.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't. I'm always in the mix of it, in the thick. And I'm like, you know what, this year I have a team and people in place because I want to really be able to sit in it and embrace it and enjoy it. I have never really been able just to sit there and really like observe like the fruits of my labor.
Right. And I think,
you know, so
I think if anybody deserves that, it's you.
Thank you.
And I make sure that I point that out because I know how it is being on the other side of this. 10 years later, you look back and, you know, sometimes you don't have a moment to sit and really just enjoy and smell the flowers and be like, damn, we did something that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time. It ain't about the numbers. Numbers are great. I'm not say nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Money is great. You know what I'm saying? But for me, the bigger impact or you know, seeing how people respond when when I'm out at events like that and people are like, yo, you don't understand what homegrown means to me. You know what I'm saying? Like connecting with people like that, for me, that's so important. And I appreciate that you provided space for people like that. So I have to I made it a point because that was the first event back since the pandemic.
It was. That was the 5th.
I had to stop you because I saw you. I'm like, I know what's going on.
I know,
right now. You don't know, like, damn, is it going to be successful? Will people be receptive to it? It's the first time we combine it. Like, what?
Exactly.
What? And then when I tell you people showed up and showed out, I had to stop you in that moment and be like, look, embrace this. You deserve this moment.
They
right
showed
here.
up, and they show up every year for me.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to grow by the grace of God. We just need them investors.
Yeah. And where you at, investors?
Yeah.
Talk to us, investors.
Yeah,
if they want to invest, what an email at?
We need them big. We need them coin. We need like 20K plus.
Yeah.
We need y'all to drop them bags.
Well, see, what I love about what you do is you do know how to communicate that with your community. I remember the campaign you did.
The Billboard campaign. And I did another one.
Bro, like,
and and that's the problem too. I always tell people, like, you have to speak up. Don't ever be afraid to speak up for what you want.
How did you get out of that, or how did you step into that?
It's uncomfortable as hell.
I know
it's uncomfortable.
I know. So for you,
asking for anything is very uncomfortable.
Somebody where it's hard for you to do that. How did you walk into that space and be like, you know what, F it, let me just put this together and put it out there? Like, how did you do something like that?
I had faith. It was the most uncomfortable thing to do, And we raised the money in 2 days.
Just by asking.
2 days, maybe even less.
Wow.
I had a really tight deadline. So when we had that billboard for the 6th annual, I was very transparent about everything. I showed the location. I showed like the correspondence as far as the deadline. I really needed to raise the money. It was something like I got the call on Friday that I can have if I had the money like by Monday, it's mine. Nobody put a bid on the space, and this is how much it is. And the exact location that I've been looking at, I grew up. My mom bought her first house down the street on Crenshaw and 60th. I've been looking at this billboard. I passed by when I used to walk to Crenshaw.
Full circle moment, man.
I wanted somewhere over there. So, and I used to always look at this billboard. I'm like, it's not really much. Like nobody used to really put bids on it. You would see some shit up there for months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I knew to kind of specifically ask for that one, and he's like, yeah, but you got it. This the deadline.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, how am I gonna get this much money in 2 days?
Ask.
I was like, you know what? I put that campaign together, and I'm telling you, like, y'all showed up I'm so quickly.
And I'm glad that you saw that and saw in real time what your community is willing to do for you. It's just, because people rock with you. You don't have no smell your name. Like we want to support you, and I'm learning that too. It's like you have to let us know how we can do that. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you put it out there for people to see.
And it's all about the relationships too. I feel like I nurture my relationships. I take care of my relationships. You know, I always reciprocate. I'm always going to, if Chuck need an assistant for the day, if I'm available, I'm going to pull up on Chuck and I'm going to help Chuck. Yeah. I'm not always just pulling on people, but I'm also be a resource to you and be help to you also. Right. And I'm always going to lend my hand. People can call me, ask me. I don't care how big they feel like I am. People can always hit me because they're comfortable too, because they know if I can do it, I'm going to assist or I'm going to help. You know, so I'm always just trying to make sure too, as much as y'all show for me, I'm going to show for you as well.
Gotcha.
So when it's small stuff what they need, you need a press release, you need this, you need that. Chris, I need you to, I got you because y'all got me.
All right, 7th annual Music and Media. Khrissy B is in the house with us right now, the creator, the shot caller. She does everything and above. A lot of the titles we talked about, from production coordinator, host, events. I mean, we said a lot of hosts, a lot of titles, right? One of your, I would say, one of the best roles that I've seen you take on is being a mother.
Oh,
right?
Okay, don't start.
No, I'm serious. I think you hold down motherhood in a way that's very admirable, especially in this business, because there's a lot of sacrifices involved.
Absolutely.
Right? And I'm sure that you can tell us stories upon stories on how you've had to sacrifice and get to where you're at, and then balance the family and motherhood and all that, man. Talk about the importance of motherhood for you, your daughter, and how your ability and your experience navigating through the space being a mother.
Well, I always look, I mean, I have a village, right? I mean, we have the grandmothers, we have the dads present, but I feel like I always want my daughter close to me, regardless. Like, I don't drop her off. Can I drop her off? Yeah. But I just want her to be able to navigate and experience life with me firsthand. And Tori's natural talents that she has are because of her mother and her father. She's just naturally taking on things because she's around us. Yeah. So if I want her to be like anybody or to look up to anybody, I want her to look up to her father and I want her to look up to her mother.
See it firsthand.
See it firsthand from us. You know, and that's how you also build a bond with your kids. Like, I'm close to my mom because she spent time with us, regardless if she was working or not. I remember going on job. So, long story short, I know how to do like handiwork. I can put a floor down. I know how to paint a wall.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't mind getting in the yard. My mom used to. So my mom used to go on jobs with my grandfather.
Wow.
In our house, my mom used to put the floors down. My mom used to paint, and she showed us how to do that kind of work.
That's fire.
Yes. So in my own house, I'll paint the walls.
No problem.
No problem. Like, I'll get in the yard. I can garden. Like, I can do all of that. I know how to use my hands. Like, I can put something together. Of course, with some instructions. Like, I don't mind. Like, if you ever see my rants on Twitter, I'm ranting because I'm the man in the house. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting all this shit together. I'm putting up the, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I need come put some damn, come put some shelves up. I'm putting up the shelves. You know what I'm saying? If I knew how to mount a TV, I'll be doing that too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but I know how to use my hands. I know how to do like handyman work.
Right.
So, I feel like, you know, going back to Tori, I just want her to experience life with me. I can't imagine life without her. You know, I want her to be solely involved in what I'm doing, what her father's doing. It's tough in the sense of because in the event production space, you guys see how I'm kind of rocking, but there's a village that always keeps an eye on Tori. You know what I mean? And keep it a buck too. I don't always have a babysitter. Right. If I could probably drop her off on a very important night, I would, but I don't always have a babysitter. So I'm going to bring her with me. Yeah, you know what I mean? And she's been learning. She's asking questions. She wants to go to concerts. She wants to be in the mix. And I feel like she's naturally now enjoying. I'm not forcing it on her. She wants to be in the mix. So, you know, I really absolutely love her being by my side. And I feel like she's, you know, like she wants to be in the mix too. So it's just really just always wanting to be, you know, her being by my side and bonding with her. Because when she gets older, she ain't gonna have me to do. She ain't gonna be checking for me at 16.
Want to do none of this stuff with you.
She's not gonna be checking for me.
How's that? Ooh, that's the
I'm not ready for her not to be checking for me. I want you to be checking for me always. Like I'm like check for me.
Always want to pull up on me.
Yeah, pull up on me. Like I always want you to feel like, you know, you want to be around me. But it comes to a point in time in her life where she's just gonna do her own thing, and I respect that.
But let go.
But right now I'm holding on.
You mentioned
I'm holding on tight.
You mentioned being in Seattle for a short period of time. I don't think I ever asked you why. What was going on in Seattle?
So I moved to Seattle when I was 20. So my stepfather works for Boeing now, retired.
Okay.
And he was an aircraft instructor.
You had to get up and go.
And so he was already there. He's been there his whole life. My stepdad, Ron, is born and raised, but when he went to the military around 18 or 19, he wound up settling in Seattle around 18, 19 years old, if I'm not mistaken, or 20. So he's always lived there. So when my mom remarried, she sold our house in LA and she was like, okay, at the time I was in junior college. She's like, all right, you know, it's time to go. I'm like, wait, we're really moving? Yeah. So she sold her house in LA. Me and my sister stood behind for a couple of months because I was still in junior college. I was going to West LA at the time. I graduated from West LA College with my associate's degree, and I was still young. I was 20.
You graduated from Crenshaw, right?
Crenshaw High School.
Crenshaw High School.
And then went to West LA.
Gotcha.
And I went to West LA on a track scholarship.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Why did I not know this?
I ran track my whole life.
Jesus.
Yes, I ran track my whole entire life. I ran for a private track team. I went to Override Middle School. Wow. Ran for Quiet Fire. When I got to high school, I ran track in high school, and I ran West LA.
Was that ever an aspiration of like wanting to continue that, or was you like, nah, you just doing it to get to school?
And I'm hope I'm not doing this to my child because Tori runs, and I feel like I feel it coming, like I'm pushing it on her.
It got pushed on you?
No. It was something I naturally wanted to, like my homegirl ran. I was like, let me try to track team with her, and I was good. I picked it up and I was good at it, but it was a sport that I did my whole life, so that was the first sport. I'm like, Tori, you run a track.
Dang.
you ran a track. I ran my whole life, but I got burnt out. And I got burnt out in high school because I also became a cheerleader. And I was like, oh, this is cute. The boy thing was kind of like, my boyfriend in high school was the star basketball player, and I was a cheerleader. Yeah. So it got real cute, like quick. And I was like, oh, track?
Jay-Z too.
Yeah, like what we doing? Lala and Carmelo, like, it was cute. So I kind of cut back on track because I was full on now a cheerleader. Wow. So that was what I did. My mom was pissed.
Jeez.
She was hot because if I would have really stayed on course, it would have been easy with a track scholarship, like a real 4-year major. It was easy. So because I was doing numbers in high school.
So now being a mother, how are you living in this space of like not wanting to, but not wanting to push, but at the same time knowing the opportunities that come with this and wanting your child to see that and kind of have the fruits of that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm only pushing it because she's good.
Okay.
If I felt like it wasn't something I felt like she was good at, I wouldn't push it. But I also don't want her to quit. She wants to quit because it's hard. It doesn't feel good.
Right.
Working out doesn't feel good. Practice doesn't feel good. But when you get on the track, you got to just do what you're doing at practice 10 times, you're doing on the track once. And I'm trying to instill, because she gets on the track and she gets intimidated. I'm like, you do this shit easy at practice. How come you can't do this on the track? In the track meet when you're competing? Yeah. They ain't your friends on the track. They might be on the same team as you, but those are not your friends.
Sound like a momager right there.
You know what I mean? Those are not your friends. Yeah. Like, get on the track and get focused, because when she's at practice, she's killing it. She kills it at practice. So track is mental. Yeah. Once you can get past through the mental barrier, you can take off. So she's great at it. And I'm not going to push her if she's not great. Oh, Mom, I don't want to go. I don't want to run anymore because it's hard. I know that. I'm not going to let you quit because if something else comes and it's hard for you, you're going to keep quitting.
Yeah.
We don't operate like that around here.
I think that's a really good lesson to instill in her early.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think she'll look back on it and understand what you mean. But it's in the moment, oh God, I just know how it is. Like I remember being pushed to play the piano at one point.
And you didn't want to do it.
I hated it. Oh, I hated it.
Were you good?
No, I wasn't that good.
Okay,
I wasn't that good. And that's probably why my mom just like,
yeah, like, let it go.
But at one point, because fast forward, like, I wanted to do, like, music production. And I remember, like, damn, if she would have pushed me longer, then I probably would have been even better. You could emerge into,
yeah.
So, like, I look back and I'm like, damn, what if? So, looking back at it now, like, I it's a full circle moment. So, it's like, yeah, you're not going to get it right now. Yeah. But just see it through and you'll
see it through.
You'll
see it through.
You'll thank her later and you'll thank yourself later for actually doing it.
Yeah. But I'm also trying to find that because there's things that she wants to do. Like, Tori's extremely flexible. Everybody knows Tori can dance. Tori wants to audition for Tommy, so I'm going to let her audition for Tommy. You know?
LA, why not?
Yeah, she would audition. So let me because that's what she wants to do. Yeah. She can dance.
As long as there's a healthy balance between
There's a healthy balance. So I'm like, you know what? She's doing something that, I love and she's involved in sport. So why you have to let your kids do what they want to do.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to just, force, shove, track down her throat.
Right.
But there's things that she wants to do. So I'm trying to find those, that fine line of allowing her to do both because I know where track can get her. If she can really see it all the way through.
It'll be it.
Yeah, she can. It'll pay for college for one.
Hello.
If you make it even further, you can make money from it. I mean, so many benefits from it. And it'll keep you healthy and in shape.
Yeah.
So
many pluses.
So many ups. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
one other thing that Khrissy B is a hip hop head. So I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions.
Lord, I hope it ain't no trivia.
No.
I'm not gonna give me no trivia.
I ain't gonna do that. But I do want, because there are people that are listening and watching that either may resonate with it or not, man. But so I gotta ask the typical: who's in your top three? Top three rappers of all time for Khrissy B.
Biggie, Jay-Z, and Pusha T.
Any particular order, or they're just all up there?
Biggie first, Jay-Z, Push. If I'm going 5, Wayne, and then Snoop.
Wayne and then Snoop. Okay. All
right. Wayne and then Snoop last. And here's the thing, I know, that's and crazy. I get it.
I mean, it's your list.
I get it all the time. But I grew up listening to East Coast music.
Who put you on?
My uncle. He played basketball in New York.
God,
and he used to babysit us.
There we
that's
go.
All I heard.
I'm getting. When
I'm talking about the B sides, the Knee Deep, the Big L's, the Tribe Called Quest, the Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J. He used to play Booming Systems every single day.
Oh my God.
LL Cool J's Booming Systems is one of my favorite LL Cool J songs because he played the shit. I'm like, oh, cars ride by with the Booming System. Like, I just that's one of my favorite LL songs because I heard it so much, and it used to bump like. That was my introduction for years. Yeah. And then my mom, as I got older, so my first real introduction was through my mom. I remember my mom playing Sugar Free.
There we go.
And DJ Quick.
Shouts to mom.
My mom's favorite rappers growing up was Sugar Free. What was that album? It came out in 90s. Sugar Free's first album.
Wow, why am I drawing
a blank? Whatever Sugar Free. I'd rather give you my eyes on there.
I'm drawing a blank.
While you bullshitting, Sugar Free.
Street gospel. Wow.
Street gospel. Thank you. It's the tip of my tongue. Sorry, Sugar Free.
Why I had a
Street gospel was one of the first West Coast albums I can remember listening to.
Really?
In middle school.
So do you remember the distinction between East and West back then, or you just were just a lover?
Absolutely.
So
yes.
Hold on. Don't twist your face like
Absolutely.
that. Don't twist your face. As somebody that went to Crenshaw, grew up in LA, don't twist your face.
I know. And I get it all the time because Tupac is not in my top 5.
Get it. All right.
I know. I'm sorry.
This interview is over. It's been a pleasure.
Cut the cameras.
Wait. Okay.
He's not. And granted, I love Pac.
But you're
you're a
lyricist.
And I just feel like there's to me, in my opinion. Look, Chuck.
Hey, man. Go ahead. I'm going to let you go ahead and go on this hill. Go ahead. Climb up that hill.
Biggie had the swag. Biggie's wordplay is unmatched. He had flawless flow. Like his flow is flawless.
See, what you just did right there. I wasn't even comparing Pac to Big. I just want to know why Pac is not in your top.
He's just not.
So where
I did not connect, and I like Tupac's music and songs. I just didn't have a connection with Tupac.
That's fine, but where does Pac land in your ranking?
Would you be upset if I told you he's not in my top 10? If I had to name a top 10?
I'm already upset that he ain't in the top 5. I just want to know where he ranks.
I like Tupac though.
So 20?
Yeah, absolutely.
Top 20, at least.
Yeah, hell yeah. 15.
14? I'm just trying to figure out where
and he might even be. I'm not even
right after 10. Then
he probably he's between like he'd be somewhere like 11, 12. Wow. I know. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but it's really. It's just what I use. I the music that I love is what I feel like. There's a connection to everything. Like, and that's Luda's in there. You know why? Because when I was in high school, we used to bump the shit out of Ludacris.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so Ludacris is above Pac. You put Ludacris above Tupac.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I listen to more Ludacris than I listen to Tupac.
You know what?
And it's just really kind of like I said. It's just I have boyfriends, excuse me, with an S, because I had a couple of boyfriends that used to listen to that kind of music, like Busta Rhymes, Joel Santana, Jay-Z, Dipset, like Jim Jones. And not that Jim Jones is in my top 10, but I just know he's not. But I listen to a lot of music from the South and the East Coast was like really my early introduction to music.
What was your first album that you bought with your own money?
Interesting enough, it was Murder Was the Case
by Snoop.
I
love this. Okay, now we get somewhere.
It was Murder Was the Case.
Really?
I wasn't old enough though. It was a cassette.
Yep.
I wasn't old enough. So my aunt, my uncles, the one that introduced me to East Coast music,
he was the one that
Antonia was the one. We used to have to walk in the record stores, and I actually had my own money, and I gave her the money, and she bought it.
That's amazing.
It was, and we used to listen to that shit,
Hell
and my mom used to be like, we used to have to sneak it because you know how like.
Yeah, no, it was.
Do you
remember having the VHS, the actual, not the actual movie?
No, I didn't have the movie. I just had the cassette. You remember how the cassettes used to look, and I used to. I never watched the movie.
It's Murder Was the Case. It was a soundtrack to a movie.
It's on YouTube. Where can I find it? This is crazy because I didn't know there was one.
So that's why you need to be a Snoop fan. That's why you got to support West Coast hip hop.
Anyway.
No, so Snoop, Murder Was the Case. Okay, that's good to know. There is hope.
That's the very, very.
There is hope for Khrissy.
There is hope, but people know this story. Okay. I've shared that. When I get asked that question, they know that it was. Come on, it's Unc.
Oh yeah, but we just got to make sure.
I know, and then following Unc, it was all Jay-Z albums.
Jesus, man. Okay, one last thing I do want to ask you again. 7th annual Musical Media tickets available right now. Please go support this amazing
Please
event.
Support.
How can they find you? How can they support you? And I do want to ask. As a black woman in media, right? How can we as black men, how can we as the culture, how can we as, and I'll keep it generic, how can we support what you're doing and, moving forward in this space and navigating through this space?
Well, answer your first question. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Khrissy B. IAMKHRISSYB. I think it's the same on Twitter. I need to keep it all the same across the socials. I'm sorry, y'all. And then as far as supporting, I think that honestly, my community and my village, you guys have been doing a phenomenal job with supporting. It's really just showing up. Just showing up. Anytime I have anything going on, I feel like you guys pop out. The city pops out. I get hit up all the time, like, how can we help? Where is it needed? Like, that's really it. Y'all just keep showing up. Buy the tickets.
Right.
I ain't got it.
Don't ask for the free.
I ain't got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It showing up for me because people don't understand, like, I use my own money. I still have to work my 9 to 5 because I take my money to fund my passion. And my passion is for you guys. This platform is for y'all. It's fueling for me, you know what I mean? Because I'm able to do it, but I have to use my own resources. Yeah. Like event production at where I want it to be. I need about 20,000-30,000 per event on the low end. On the low end to really produce it at the capacity that I want to produce it at. And granted, it's still amazing every single year.
Fire.
But by year 10, I need that bag. I need about 30 bands.
Yeah.
On the low. On the low. So we can get to the six, because if I got 6 figures in my hand, it's a wrap. We at the Long Beach Convention Center where we gonna be. Nigga, I want crypto.
I was just about to say.
I want crypto.
Wait.
Stop playing with me. I'm shutting all this shit down.
Because at one point I do remember one of the early, some of the ones were in Hollywood, right? So you've had them in different areas.
I had them in Hollywood because it was more, and they were like in lounges and clubs.
And I was going to ask you that is being in. I don't want it to be taken the wrong way, because I do like the community aspect of it, but so you're open to taking it different places. 1,000%. Good. Okay.
But the reason why I'm local is because who fucks with me are my locals. Like my like Leimert Park supports me 1,000%. LA supports me 1,000%. And I want to be able to, I really want to travel with music and media. I would love to take it to New York. I would love to take it to Atlanta. I would love to take it to Oregon or up north in San Diego, wherever. But the reason why I continuously kind of keep it in the hub of the community is because that's who embraces me. Yeah. And when you're trying to find resources, like you have to go what's accessible, like network across first. Right. I tell people all the time, network across. So if you have your neighbor that says, I'm going to open up my space for you, use your neighbor that's going to open up that space for you. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get there. We're right at the brink, I'm right at the brink. So, but yeah, Long Beach Convention Center, what's up? Anaheim, where y'all at? Crypto.
Yeah. Nah, I love this for you. I love this.
Thank you.
To see the tenacity and you to keep going at it year after year, getting bigger and better. And one thing we didn't mention, I love how you provide opportunities for other hosts, other people. Like you got Tyler Kimani going to be.
Shout out to Tyler and Shells.
Yeah, Shells.
Because first of all, those are my homegirls.
Right.
And I see both of them. Like I see them, I support them. I love what they're doing, and I have and when I speak, like the word women empowerment to me is so overused, and I'm so sick of that. I'm really honestly sick of that because it's deeper to me than that. Like I really have a community of homegirls. You know what I mean? Like I love them, I support them, I'm rooting for them. There's not no envy in my heart or my blood. Like I'm gonna really go out and I'm gonna show it from my homegirls, from my sister. That's why I call all of them sis. Like sis is a real word for me, like because you're my sis. I embrace my homegirls as sis because I feel that way about them. So I'm gonna always show up and support, just like they show up and support for me. So I want to continue to build a village of not just black women, but brown women. But all of my homegirls are different races and colors and ethnicity. So I want to be able to continue to support all of them. And if I see there's somewhere where they can shine, I'm gonna make sure I'm putting them in position to shine.
Right, yeah. No, I love that, man. 7th annual Music and Media, man. Khrissy B, always a pleasure chopping it up with you.
And shout out to you. Thank you, Chuck, for having me. I appreciate it. I'm finally up here after 7 years. I started from the bottom. Now we here,
baby. Now we just gotta change your top. That's your top 5, your top 10. We gotta
that's
Ludacris over Pac is Ludacris. I'm just telling you right now.
I'm sorry.
It's all love.
Nah, but come on now. He got bars. Okay, but not over Pac. All right.
Just stop. Khrissy B, 7th annual Music and Media. Give me the website one more time. I know it's on Eventbrite. It's
7mm.eventbrite.com. Or if you follow me, of course, just please click the link in my bio. we going ham for the next 2 weeks.
That's good, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Keeping it homegrown as always, live and direct. Chuck Dizzle, Khrissy B. Catch y'all next time.
Peace.